Password?
Kicking names and taking ass.
Hey, buddy,
Oh, wait, thank you.
Buy the cheap shit again. It tastes like this.
Hey, man, you can't drink water.
Look at these two fucking ass clowns walking in like they own the place.
Doing a show here.
Goddamn millennials.
Dust in the wind. All of your man is dust in the wind. It's true. It's true. Hey there, listeners. Welcome to the Yancey Street Speakeasy. Just thought I'd give that little tearful
Rendition of
tribute to fucking my boy Tom Holland.
Bye, Tom Holland. We'll never see you again.
No, floating around like dust in the wind.
Welcome to the Yancey Street Speakeasy, episode number...
Just give me a second, man. Alright, now I'm done.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Yancey Street Speakeasy, episode number 13. Awesome. If I saw Spider-Man in heaven...
Would you call his name if you saw Spider-Man in heaven? I'm done. Okay, that's enough of the guitar. It's just gonna be a distraction.
Yeah. Put it away.
Fuck you. It's been a while, actually.
All right.
He's got a beer in his hand. I've got a mojito in mine. We're ready to rehash this.
Yeah.
Traumatic experience.
We're ready to dive in. Last time, I wasn't feeling too well before the movie. It had been a long day, and I think you could all kind of hear that in my voice.
I could.
Upon re-listening, I am half asleep, maybe 3/4, maybe 99%.
It was a long emotional roller coaster of a day for both of us.
It was. That movie took the life right out of me. It jazzed me up, and then it just knocked me down.
Sent us crashing.
It was like doing.
He's seen it 2 more times since. I've seen it 3 more times since.
Yeah, so we officially are at 7 viewings between the two of us.
Yeah, we've we've emotionally girded our loins emotionally and physically. My loins are a precious commodity, seen as the gold standard in some third world countries. So let's dive right in. I broke Max.
Oh yeah, my eyes are closed and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's giving me some serious face palmage. I made a really good mojito. You want a sip?
No.
You want a sip? Peer pressure. Just kidding.
I'm too busy drinking my Sweetwater Gone Coastal IPA.
Sweetwater breweries give us money.
Yeah, lots of money. Or just supply us with beer that we'll talk about.
Also, yes.
That would be fine.
Yeah, people can hear how effective their product is. It's what the people want. It's what the people need. It's what they crave.
They want to understand what they're about to put inside them. And they can witness it through us doing that.
Putting things inside other things. That's what this podcast is all about. All right. We should probably focus. I
guess we did kind of summarize the movie in a
roundabout sleepy way.
Yeah.
We've now seen it about 5 more times between the two of us since then, and I don't know about you, but I caught more and more every time I saw it. There's something that I caught new every time that I rewatch a movie. They really
definitely
put some love into the little details.
Absolutely.
The one detail that was consistent throughout the movie that I really enjoyed was whenever Thanos used the Infinity Gauntlet, it lit up the stones that he was actually like pulling power from. So
I noticed that the first time, but I thought that it was very consistent, and
Yes.
I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool that they showed that he had to like close his fist and actually use the gauntlet
Yes.
to make whatever he wanted to happen.
Yeah. If he's altering reality, turning bullets into bubbles, the red stone, the reality stone, the red stone glows. When he's torturing Nebula, he used the Power Stone and the Space Stone to simultaneously injure her and also physically pull her body farther and farther apart. Just lots of little things like that.
Lots of little heinous shit.
Heinous. It was. We mentioned on the last podcast, but that scene really struck a nerve with me. Like I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I know she's just a robot.
She's not just a robot.
She's like 80% robot.
She's a cyborg.
We'll have a debate on robots versus cyborgs on a different day. No, I think that actually is a pretty... No, you're right, it's a cyborg. It's pretty distinct. Cyborgs are part human, part robot. That was just... It's just... leaving her in that just existential pain and torture is really sad to watch, and...
We feel you, Nebula.
Poor Nebula. Poor cyborg.
Alright, I promise we won't do this anymore.
I can't. But there's just a lot of little details. I'm just gonna run through the little details that I picked out this time around. I noticed Thor's. I noticed that the Hulk's blood they made green, which was really cool. When Thanos beats his ass in the beginning, he's got some...
Yes, that's right, coming out of his nose. Yeah, I noticed that the first time, too.
Yeah. Well, aren't you just better than me?
I noticed everything.
Aren't you just fucking better than me?
I noticed everything the first time, and then upon each consecutive rewatch, I just noticed it more.
Oh, yeah. Huh? Yeah. Well, just fuck me, I guess. Anyway. And then... the next little detail that I noticed, I just pointed out to Max, was when the Hulk crash lands in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and shrinks back down to puny Bruce Banner. He is obviously shirtless, as is his wont, and we see right beforehand Wong and Doctor Strange having a very amusing exchange about getting tuna melts and rupees translating into American dollars and everything. And the moment that he crash lands, there's Strange immediately transforms into like Doctor Strange, and like he gets his full like grand wizard garb. But immediately after, he's tunic. And then immediately after, the next time we see Bruce, he's wearing the same shirt and kind of shirt and overcoat, like little soft. What is that called?
Well, I think it was like a stylish blazer, but it wasn't like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't a cardigan because it had like the whole lapels and everything. I think it was like it was supposed to be a blazer, but not like a real fancy one.
Yancey Street Speakeasy, bringing you the latest in fashion sense for men.
Yeah.
But
and I do just want to say one thing real quick, that I did notice that the first time as well.
I fucking hate you. Get out of my house. Get out of my house.
But no, I'll be honest. That really I didn't notice. He told me that a couple minutes ago.
I thought it was kind of sweet because
I thought it was cool.
He actually gave him the clothes off his own back. Like, oh, thanks, man. What a bro Doctor Strange is. Doing Hulk a solid. So I thought that was really interesting. What was the other one? You say something. I can't remember. Max, say things.
Well, one thing that I noticed more this time was that...
Notice more because you noticed it the first time, of course.
Okay, well...
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. fucking perfect over here. With your perfect fucking hair. Look at me. I'm fucking Max. I'm really handsome. I'm a pleasure to be around. I'm fucking Max.
Well, you said it, not me.
Yeah, fuck you.
One thing I noticed more this time was that I thought the acting was really solid across the board, but specifically what I caught this time was more of the relationship between Scarlet Witch and Vision, and I thought that Elizabeth Olsen did a much better job acting. I've complained in the past about her accent and how much I hated it, and I think the fact that she's getting more comfortable with the character, probably that she's just more of an experienced actress. But also probably that they didn't make her do the stupid accent.
Yeah.
That she did a better job. And I was really impressed with how well Paul Bettany was still able to get across facial expressions through all the Vision makeup.
I know. Yeah, we were just discussing when Scarlet Witch was destroying the Mind Stone.
That was a really good scene.
It was really good.
It was, some of the emotion was lost in the tenseness the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Like, I was just so wondering, will she break it in time? You know, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've gotten to rewatch it, it's really, really meaningful. Really, really tugs at the heartstrings very powerfully.
Yeah, I mean, if the rest, and also in that moment, if the rest of the movie wasn't enough of an indicator of what control and power she has now over her abilities, she, with one hand, held off Thanos for a good minute or two.
Yeah, with five Infinity Stones.
Yeah, while she was destroying a sixth with her other hand. I was like, whoa, she's a badass mofo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's on her business card.
It is.
Is badass mofo.
She can't put Scarlet Witch because that's still owned by Fox. So
Yes.
she puts badass mofo.
Badass mofo. Wanda, badass mofo. What's her
Maximoff.
Maximoff, yeah. Maximoff.
Good.
I did it. The Vision mouthing "I love you" and it's okay, I love you to her. I was just like, I get really choked up.
This time it pained me more to see that.
Because their relationship, while established in the comics, was a bit more abrupt in the MCU as well, and it was kind of like here and there, like they have the moment, they have like sort of a sort of tender moment all the way back in Age of Ultron when he saves her and he's just kind of like carrying her, and that could be completely up to interpretation. That's probably just people shipping. The two of them together.
They've all been together in the comics, so anyone who knew about their relationship definitely would have seen that was an implication. Those people that hadn't been aware of that, I would say that's probably not enough for people to make that kind of jump. But then they definitely really played on that during Civil War.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like with trying to cook together and him awkwardly walking through he just acting like a bit of a schoolboy around here, like it's like I'll take the door. And it was kind of adorable, and it wasn't overacted or anything. It felt pretty organic.
Yeah, which is tough because
contradicting myself now. It's like it felt abrupt. JK, it felt like it was super organic. And
well, it's when you said abrupt, it just means that what I took to mean from it was that it hasn't been in a 19 movie franchise. It hasn't been 10 movies long like Pepper Potts and Tony Stark. It's abrupt in that sense, but it did feel real. It felt organic. There was real chemistry between the actors.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard because you're making a human woman be in love with
a robot.
A red robot.
A red robot. Red robot send Vision on Ovid. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it was, and there was they managed to pack in that first scene where they're in Scotland and hanging out together. They managed to pack a lot of emotion and passion into that.
Yes, they did.
Into those 5 minutes that they were together, and then same at the end. You really felt like even if you were like kind of like what about the whole relationship beforehand, by the end, like I don't, unless you have a heart of stone, man, I choked up.
I think one of the reasons this movie was so successful is because, yes, they had all the other movies before that introduced these characters and the relationships between them. Mm-hmm. And this movie didn't take any time at all to say, this is this character, and this is what this character is like with this character. They assumed everyone knew everything, and so they just went for it.
I mean, which is a good assumption on their part. The franchise is big enough. There's enough fanboys and enough people that are obsessed with this. That I'm happy they didn't do that. I'm happy they didn't go through any reintroduction rigmarole. They're like, yeah, you know the guys. Come on, get with it. And if you don't know the guys, there are 18 other movies that we can recommend to you in a specific order if you're interested. And that's what I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, but it really cracked me up the other day when I was reading. The New York something, the New York Tribune or something like that did a review of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, it didn't make any sense. It just seemed to introduce characters at random, giving no backstories. And I'm like, then don't watch the 19th movie in a franchise without seeing any of the ones before it, dude. Come on.
Well, he's a professional, obviously. He knows what he's doing.
Clearly. It's really, with something that's become as big as the Marvels, as the MCU is, it's really tough to view anything as a standalone movie.
It would kind of be like if someone went to a Star Wars movie and complained that, like the most recent Star Wars movie, and complained that Luke Skywalker wasn't explained enough. Like, who's Luke Skywalker? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Watch the other ones, bruh.
Except for episode 1 through 3, you can skip
who's
those.
Who's the solo person? What's a Chewbacca?
All right.
Give me your best Chewie impression.
No.
I was like expecting. He was like, "Give me your best Chewie impression." You're just like, "Hi, I'm Chewbacca. I'm Chewbacca. It's really nice to meet you. I drive a ship. Thank you." But yeah, come on, guys, it's a franchise. Get with the program. And then
Tracy just pushed up his glasses with his finger.
I'm wearing contacts. I pushed up my contacts. It was very gross. I've got a headache now because I squished my eye in too far. Airplanes flying overhead.
Don't worry, they can't hear that.
They can't. I mean, yeah, probably. Unless any of you eagle-eared viewers, listeners.
Oh, they can definitely hear it. There's no question.
So like, comment, subscribe. Draw fan art of us riding a plane over our house.
Yeah, but we're not in it. We're on it.
We're on it. Yeah,
we're riding it. We're not.
We're straddling it. Maybe like one arm hanging off the wing.
Like Pecos Bill.
Yes.
Except for an airplane.
Yes, exactly. What were we talking about? Infinity War? I guess that's a thing.
We were talking about Chewbacca, actually.
Oh.
So let's we've already really strolled through the plot lazily. So I guess what we should really do are pick and choose our favorite bits and pieces, talk about our favorite little parts, and talk about the future, because that's one thing we really didn't talk about before.
Future. Yeah, all 14 million of them.
Yeah. We're going to talk about each one of 14 million.
Mantis, for sure, was a highlight of the movie
so
for me.
Funny. Oh my god.
I was like a little bit hesitant about her. Like I enjoyed her presence at the end of Volume 2.
Volume 2. Nah, I could have left it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sold on her as part of the team. I loved her in this movie.
Oh my god. Well, I saw her in the back of the Milano, and I was like, okay, she's still with them. That's interesting. She picked up a hitchhiker. No, they established her character. She's hilarious. She's adorable. She's has some crazy cool powers. She's like just a sterling addition to the team. And like right from the get-go when he says get your mean faces on.
That's the best.
And they don't even focus on her, and then she's in the background just like grr.
Genius.
There's so many like little things, like just she's like a a child, like enjoying life and just experiencing everything for the first time, and it's charming and it's wonderful. Like when they get on the planet and Star Peter's like, oh man, the axis is off by 8%. Like it's
bouncing in the background,
and she's like taking advantage of the low gravity to just like do a couple like twists and tricks, and it's just so charming. And,
we're kicking names and taking ass.
Oh my god, she's so wonderful.
Drax is like, that's right.
I love. I just was like, I actually wanted to kick Drax in the face during Volume 2 when he's like, oh god, you're repugnant, you're so ugly on the outside but not on the inside. I'm like,
well, you know,
whatever.
It's a shtick. That's one of the things about the movie I didn't like either. I thought it was stupid.
Sticky.
Yeah.
A little sticky. Brown and sticky.
Yeah, I stepped in it.
What's brown and sticky? A stick. These are the jokes.
The jokes that are going to make us podcasting pioneers.
Pioneers. Pioneers, more like. Oh, here
Fuck,
they...
Tracy.
Oh, I fucking suck. More Thor Ragnarok, more like Snore Ragnarok.
Okay.
Oh my god, look at the feedback. God.
All right. So
Snore Ragnarok.
I'm gonna put an end to this podcast
I
now.
hope that titillated your earbuds.
He looks at me every time he makes these jokes. He
Stare at him like...
he doesn't think they're good. He peeks at me out of the corner of his eye
I just peek him
intensely.
and I'm just like, give him the face.
I'm about to do it again.
Had to do it to him.
Oh, and with Mantis, I love... what
Her little like...
Yeah, and nowhere she's got her little fingers crossed and she's like...
she's like sneaking.
Her mantis stalk. But it's hilarious because she's actually like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did. Context clues. You were asleep for that part anyway.
Only the third time through.
You was asleep for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes during the movie.
No, it was like 15.
It was like... Well, you would have been asleep for about 30 minutes, but I was poking him.
Yeah. He poked me and I gave him a dirty look.
Not with my fingers either. It was a pretty empty theater.
Not completely.
It was pretty empty. I hope it was. I did some unsavory things. Just kidding. That's terrible. Ignore that. I'm going to snap my fingers and you're going to...
I've completed.
Completed?
To bring it back.
Oh, I'm going to complete.
Bring it back to another podcast.
Complete. Here comes the sweetness. Dude,
she has another line in that movie that I absolutely love, which
taking names.
I had it a minute ago, and then you made your terrible jokes and you threw me off.
That's what I'm here for.
What did she say? Anyway, let's not dwell on it.
No, let's dwell on it.
Okay.
She says, what does she say? Ha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha-cha.
Ha-cha-cha-cha. All right. Yeah. Other favorite part. I really did. I enjoyed all of the banter aboard the Milano once Thor got brought on board.
Yes.
That entire scene is just wonderful.
And
Like,
they introduce you. I love how in all
you guys?
in the Russo brothers movies, every time a scene switches locations, it kind of gives you a little introduction. It says like
space.
Yeah, it says space.
Like no shit.
And then they have the music. You feel like you literally just fell into a Guardians movie. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they made that work is awesome.
Like a rubber man. Mm-hmm. That's such a good song.
Yeah, it is, and that's such good music too.
From the moment they get introduced, I know everybody's like really pissed off with Peter Quill. I've seen some hilarious memes about like, thanks to everyone for saving the galaxy, not you. It shows Peter's face.
You know what? He's had a rough day.
He has.
Give him a break.
The person he loved died.
No, and that's not just that. He actually was willing to kill her for the good of the universe.
Yep.
And all that emotion
that is true.
was taken away. So he was gonna kill her.
That's
then
true.
she got taken away, and then he found out she died. That's a rough. I don't know if it was all a day, but that was a rough.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Like, the only redeeming part of that is, like, I gotta believe that Doctor Strange saw this as one of his futures, and this was just something that had to happen. And he actually, maybe he picked the one eventuality that where Peter Quill actually does punch him in the face, and that somehow will butterfly effect into a better world. I don't know how it's gonna happen, Russo brothers, but. And Max is just staring at me creepily doing the fucking the butterfly hand thing from Napoleon Dynamite.
It's the universe butterfly.
It's the universe butterfly. Let's go watch the Mothman Prophecies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
It's dark. Movies scared me in the daytime.
I don't get scared. I get even. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Moving on. So... Peter Quill, cool your jets, unless it was all part of the plan. Maybe Doctor Strange said, "Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear," and told you a secret thing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. They've subverted all of our expectations so far, so anything is up for grabs. Any eventuality. But yeah, though, like from that entire scene with Guardians meeting Thor, from them like massaging his muscles, Drax calling him a man and like a beautiful man. He's like a cross between a pirate and an angel.
Angel pirate.
And Peter Quill lowering his voice.
Yes. Oh, that's what I was gonna say about Mantis when he's lowering his voice. He says, "I am not." You did it again.
She's so pure.
Like, he did it.
He did.
What's happening?
He's so pure. She's wonderful. And then Rocket just became. It was like a little thing.
Well, I am the captain.
When Rocket finally gets up and is like, I know that place. This place where like these crazy weapons are made. And the moment Thor lays his eyes on Rocket, his face lights up. Did you notice that? Like his face, he's like.
Of course, I noticed it. I noticed everything.
Fuck you.
I did not. I didn't.
So stern, and then Rocket gets up there and he goes like, he's like a little rabbit.
Yeah.
Just so good. And he's like, yeah. Let me ask the captain. Oh yeah, that's me. And he just goes with him, and they decide to go wake up a star.
I got an idea. We got a ship full of we got 2 ships. And a crew full of morons.
It's an excess amount of morons. Groot and I will accompany the pirate angel, go make this hammer. The rest of you go to nowhere. Something.
Yep.
Paraphrasing, but I am Groot. Got some acorns on you, buddy.
Yeah.
God, that entire scene was just wonderful. And I was mentioning, like, probably the slowest story arc in the entire thing was the Rocket, Groot, and Thor section, but it was tense, it was interesting, and a lot of stuff happened. So if that's the slow part, man, like, whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm down. And the Peter Dinklage reveal as the giant dwarf, amazing. Eitri, so good.
One of my favorite parts was the entrance of Thor after he got the hammer. When the Bifrost is coming down and the hammer flies out, which is a throwback to Thor: The Dark World. He's such a badass.
I wouldn't remember because I really didn't.
You haven't seen that since 2013 when it came out?
Yeah, I watched it with my girlfriend at the time, and both of us fell asleep. And so I've only seen it twice, 1.5 times really. But I mentioned this to Max already, but I did the second time I went to see the movie. I went to see it at an IMAX in Miami because I drove up for the weekend to work on my project and see some friends, and it was a massive audience. It was like a day after the movie had aired. It was the most responsive, invested audience I've ever been a part of. Truly awesome. Just the standout moments for me were when Tony gets stabbed. He turns his nanobots into a knife and tries to stab Thanos, and he breaks it off and stabs him in return. The entire audience gasped. So it was
like that.
Yeah, just like that.
I just wanted the audience to understand.
They're riveted. They're immersed. No, that was like it was just like he gets stabbed and there's just like it was like this really.
My gasp was better.
It was a really horrified. There's such a gap there. I gave him such a look of disgust.
Soon the audience is gonna start understanding when we look at each other hatefully. We don't have to explain it anymore.
There's this partnership it's very hateful. It started off as fun and loving, but now it's just there's something darker there. But it was very I don't know. There was the gasp was just such a collective horrified, terrified gasp, and I was just like, I got so much more into the movie because that happened. I like the entire movie. The laughs were that much better. The humor is that much better because of everybody's reactions. The Red Skull, the Red Skull reveal. People were like, "What the fuck?" There was just like the general like, "Oh my fucking god!" Just going around the audience. The girls in front of me for that viewing were so great. They were just hyper aware of everything that was happening. They reacted so much to what was going on screen. Like when Tony gets stabbed, he like spits a little blood out, and he's like, and doing his thing, and they're just like, no. They're like, and he's about to blast him, and everybody's like, I heard audibly from the rest of the audience when he's like charging up the gauntlet to like kill Tony, and everybody's like, no, like from somewhere off to my left. And then after that, when my favorite part was when Thor made his entrance in the Battle of Wakanda, and when he landed with Rocket and Groot alongside him, I'm gonna say like 80% of the audience stood up and applauded. Like Thor got an actual standing ovation when he landed with Stormbreaker, and then when he jumped up in the air and turned all electric blue and crazy and smashed the ground, everybody yelled again. It was like, yeah! It was so oh my god! I've never been to see I've never been with a better theater audience, and to top it all off, at the end when he snaps his fingers, the audience there was like. Just all around me was like, like it was all around me. Everybody was so devastated.
Of course, this is the one that I didn't go to. We've been to it 3 times together, and the 4th time that he went, well, technically the 2nd time, but
yeah.
But the one time he went without me was this glorious experience.
Oh, dude, and I was like, I felt very validated. Because the girls in front of me when Spider-Man went, like, one of them broke down, like, and not just like, oh man, this is really sad. She was inconsolable. She was sobbing and shaking, and like her friend was like holding her in her arms, and like the boyfriend on the left side of her who sounded like he had. More involved in the comics and stuff like that. Like, it's okay. It's like, there's a Spider-Man sequel. It's okay. He's gonna be okay. And she's just like, this is how he is. Peter's dead. Oh. That was so good. Oh man, what a great movie going experience. 10 out of 10. Would do again.
All right. So one thing that I didn't notice the first time, I was surprised when Thor summoned the Bifrost to arrive on Earth.
Yeah.
I was surprised. But then the second time I watched it, I noticed that at one point when Eitri is talking, he mentions... he says it could even summon the Bifrost in theory.
I actually noticed that the first time.
He's lying.
No, I did.
He's a lying bitch.
No, fuck you.
Lying fucking bitch.
I'm a lying fucking bitch. You talk for a little while. I'm going to make another mojito to get over that comment.
Drink your fucking sorrows out. Hey, can you get me a beer?
Sure, babe. Which one, Reef Donkey or?
No, the same one.
More. You want another Sweetwater?
I went coastal, and I'm still coastal.
He's still coastal. He's staying there. Sweetwater, give us money. Here's another. And this is the sound of me opening another Sweetwater Brewing Company Going Coastal IPA with pineapple. That do anything for you?
Yeah. I think about 96% of our audience just orgasmed.
Good. Oops. Drop the Reef Donkey. Thank God I didn't drop another Sweetwater Going Coastal IPA
Yeah, that would
with
have
pineapple.
been a disaster.
You're a disaster.
All right. While Tracy makes himself one of the most elaborate cocktails known to man during a podcast,
It's okay, you have a muddler.
I'll just carry the ship.
He's got a fantastic setup over here. I've got a muddler. I don't have to find some weird thing to MacGyver as a muddler.
You can't compliment your way out of this one.
You're so pretty. Gotcha. Isn't he beautiful, folks? Just take a look. Oh, my lines are up.
God.
I'm getting lines. Do you think this is one of the parts we should edit out, or should we leave it?
Oh no, this is staying.
Oh, good. I just want people to know how dedicated I am to making decent cocktails.
Not dedicated to making decent podcasts, though.
What? Who are we? Who are you? Let me get that muddler.
We need a bartender on hand for the Yancey Street Speakeasy. Doesn't that make more sense?
Hey folks, support us. We'll start a Patreon. My Venmo. I'll give you my Venmo. Just give us enough money so we can get us a guy to bartend for us. That's all we want.
Also, to buy a bar to put in my apartment.
Also, yes,
We need both of those things.
I don't need food money. I don't need rent money. I need a wet bar and a bartender.
Yep, that stuff. Those are things that are important to making this show run.
Skirt. Yes. It's our lubricant.
Just focus on your drink, Tracy.
That's all I'm good for. Talk about things. What are some other of your favorite moments? Talk about the fight on Titan.
So, I really did love the fight on Titan. It was definitely by far the best scene, and Doctor Strange definitely had by far the best action. I think that his multiplier move, which I can't remember the name of at the moment, yeah, it was fantastic. It was really cool. The Crimson Bands of Sidorak, very cool.
I'm really before the movies and everything. I'd seen him. He made a guest appearance in one of the old Spider-Man comics. So that was really the only time I'd ever been introduced to Doctor Strange, and it involved some weird dimension hopping, and Spider-Man was fighting some eternal being that was controlling an ancient power. But other than that, the Doctor Strange movie was my first real exposure to him. So I don't know much about his moves or his powers.
I'd expose myself to Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, me too. Bro, same. It's not gay if I'm doing it with my bro.
Is Doc Strange your bro?
You're my bro. You're both my bros. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. If I meet him, I'm going to make sure that he's my bro. Although I feel like he's actually way above me, in terms of he's definitely out of my league. So
as a friend, you're like, hey, what's up? And he's like, I'm out of your league, man.
Yeah.
Just
he's like, as a friend, I'm a solid 10.
Yeah. You need to reassess your friends.
You're working with about a 7.5. We need at least an 8.5.
That's generous.
Piss off? Piss off, maybe.
Oh, God.
Maybe go fuck yourself.
I think that he would think I was a young him, and we would have to be friends.
Well, it's you pretty much are identical. So, if you're not, I'm back. to save the show.
Where'd you go?
Crazy. I loved that one little scene where Rocket's like, all right, it's time to be the captain. And he goes back and he
comforts Thor.
Yeah, which was like, Rocket's done a lot of growing, especially in Guardians 2. That's one thing that I did like about Guardians 2 is he's always been kind of a dickwad. And in Guardians 2, they like found they explored into that, like he's afraid that he's an asshole to everyone because he's afraid everyone's going to leave him, so why not just be an asshole to everyone anyway?
Yeah.
And now he's with a group of people that really do care about him. And so just this kind of tender moment, like this moment of empathy that he has with a complete stranger who's going to do a thing that sounds completely crazy.
He's not a complete stranger. He's a pirate angel.
Yes. Beautiful pirate angel from a faraway land. Thor.
Called Asgard.
Asgard. Thor, come sweep me off my feet someday. He's just like, are you sure you're up to this particular murder mission?
Brings back the Grandmaster to me. You can go back to Place, wherever you're from.
Place. Jeff Goldblum is... I think Jeff Goldblum kind of like crawls under a rock every so often and then reemerges, becomes super huge for a little while.
He's like a phoenix.
And then, yeah, he dude, that was a really apt metaphor. It's really good.
I'm Max Dean, what do you expect?
This is Max Dean. He has a website, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it's shameless plug time. Yeah, we're about halfway through this episode. I don't know, it might be longer. Welcome, everyone, to the Yancey Street Speakeasy. It's about the halfway point. Go up and make a mojito if you haven't already. Max Dean has a website called maxdean.org.
We have a website called maxdean.org.
Babe! It's our website. It's us. It's not him, it's us.
Yes.
Ladies.
The website might be maxdean.org.
Back off.
But the header is also maxdean.org. But the subheader...
He's mine.
The subheader is original artwork and media by Maxine and Tracey LaFrance.
Oh.
Note, my name is first.
Well, it is alphabetical.
Oh, God, that makes so much sense. Why didn't I think of that before?
Yeah.
Why didn't I think that when I was writing it?
He was writing it. He thought of it because he thinks that he's better than me, but he's horribly mistaken. And then Tracy, this guy, yours truly, has a Instagram account, Viva La France.
He won't share it with me. It's only his.
I'm sharing it right now.
Well, you're telling people about it, but you didn't say that we...
You're not on Instagram. I can't share it with you. It's our Instagram account, but it's mostly... I'm the selfish one in the relationship. Thank you. Thank you for making me the selfish one.
Thank you for admitting it.
Fuck you. And so I have an Instagram account. It's Viva La Frank. So VIVALAFRANC and then A3 in place of the E.
Yeah.
So Viva La France, but with an E with a 3 instead of the E. And I post original art content on there, and I'm gonna start posting pay scales for my commissions because I'm doing commissions now, which is nifty. And I'll start posting sample art for what stuff that I can do. If you like anything that you see, it's probably for sale. I can laminate it and put it in an envelope or something, and
we can crumple it in a ball and
tie it to a pigeon's leg and hope it gets to you. And
we'll tell him your name. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah! And Tracy will send that your way. And we're working collaboratively on a comic book that is written by maxdean.org and illustrated by yours truly. And it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be a revolution. Hopefully, it's gonna be great. His writing is so good, and my art is just really okay. And hopefully, it'll be greater than the sum of its parts. And I'm really hopeful. So you'll see lots of sample art for that.
Yes, you will. Tracy's art is really excellent. Actually, it's pretty fucking fantastic. We spent all day working on issue number 1.
Yeah, dude, it's coming together. And now I just have to put it all, make it all digital and ink it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I really need to get an iPad with Procreate on it. I really hope when I go home this upcoming month, I'm gonna be getting my bamboo pad and really putting some effort into that.
Good.
'Cause
you've been slacking. Put some effort in. All right. So, last shameless plug. If you'd like to contact us in any way to talk about the NC Speed
the NC Speed. Welcome to the NC Speed.
If you would like to contact us and talk about the Yancey Street Speakeasy, you want to ask us some questions for us to answer, you want us to give you a shout out, we will definitely do that. You want us to read your eloquent letter, we'll do it.
Please.
As long as it's,
please.
We'll read it if it's really hateful, but...
Yeah. If any of you are big fans and fan fiction writers, please write fan fiction about the two of us. I would love to read that on the air.
Tracy, you're not allowed to write sexy fan fiction and send it to my email
But
address.
what if I send it as somebody else? What if...
allowed.
What if I'm Jennifer McQueen? Sorry if any of our listeners...
Only because that's such a great name.
Ka-chow. Ka-chow.
So, we'll do it. But yeah, so please reach out to us. We would love some fan interaction. And...
We would.
We're
very lonely and sick of each other.
The email address for that is going to be maxwelldean@maxdean.org.
Oh. It's more names.
More names.
It's more of your names.
More of my names.
Fucking narcissistic bastard.
Well,
Anyway, so we were talking about something, and it's O'Reilly's Auto Parts. O'Reilly.
Is that a Northeast regional thing, or are people across the country going to understand what that is?
Auto Parts. I honestly don't know. It shows up on my Spotify very frequently.
Oh, if that's the case, it must be.
Oh, if that's the case, you should upgrade to Spotify Premium so you can avoid. Hey, Spotify, also give us money.
Yeah, Spotify. By the way, I want to tell you guys real quick that you can listen to us on either iTunes or maxdean.org. We have the podcast in both places. We are waiting for Spotify to accept our friend request.
Are we? I didn't even know that's how that works.
No, it's not exactly. But I think Spotify has just introduced podcasts.
Yeah.
And I think they're overloaded with podcast requests right now. So we have requested to be available on Spotify, but we're waiting right now.
Neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
That's a neat thing you said.
It is.
And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Infinity Wars. The fappening. The warrening. Infinity Wars 2. The infinitying. The Thanosing.
Thanos.
Two Thanos
100 years. Thanos is
100 years. Thanos 100 years. Rick and Morty.
Hey, Rick and Morty is renewed for 70 episodes.
70 episodes. 70 episodes. Morty. Because 70 episodes of Morty. It's happening. So, rickandmortyforever.com.org.
Oh, Rick, I don't know if I can do 70 episodes.
Ooh-wee. I can't wait. Love that show. But we were talking about Infinity Wars, I think.
No, let's just forget about that.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next time on the podcast. Have a great night.
If you wanna come over and hang out, we could talk about it. But I'm done talking about it on the show.
Yeah, we'll do it. We love our fans. If there are any fans in Key West, we're at 555. Eat butts.
This is so good.
We're off the rails, man. This is a great second half.
Yeah.
We started so strong, I feel like, and now we gave ourselves shameless plugs, and we can't get refocused.
No, because I just love plugging myself.
Love plugging you too, baby. We won't even there doesn't even need to be like actual fan fiction. We're providing all of the fan fiction plot for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just write what we say.
Yeah.
Are we our only fans?
Yeah.
Is that why we're the only people doing fan fiction?
Yup.
Oh, good. I'm a huge fan of myself, so I can definitely account for at least like 15 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, moving forward
No.
beyond Infinity War
No.
into the future of the MCU,
No. No. Tell me about Adam Warlock, because it sounded like he was. Because you were talking to me a lot about Adam Warlock possessing the Soul Stone. Beforehand, we might have mentioned this on the podcast. Adam Warlock's an important player. He's a really important player in the Infinity Gauntlet series,
Yes.
and he was mentioned by. He was mentioned in Guardians Volume 2 by the what are they called?
the Sovereign. I remember this time.
The Sovereign, we remembered.
So, basically, in the original Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Thanos has already accumulated all 6 Infinity Stones. One of which, obviously, is the Soul Stone. Before the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Adam Warlock possessed the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
And he was essentially he's an artificially created being, and he was created as an adult. I think we've talked about a little bit of this before, but
Yeah.
because he was created as an adult, he didn't really have emotions. He was just a hyper-logical person. And eventually he comes to obtain the Soul Stone, which kind of provides him with a blend of both wisdom and humanity. It kind of gives him a new outlook on life. And then Thanos gets it, and he, because of his connection to the Soul Stone,
Yeah.
he has sort of this soul connection to the wielder of the Soul Stone, who is Thanos. And basically, he is aware that on a very, very deep level, and I don't think this is really a spoiler because they've kind of diverged from that in the movies, but he's aware that on a very deep level, Thanos doesn't believe he's actually worthy to possess all of the Infinity Stones, and even though he's constantly posturing that he is the most worthy.
Yeah.
So he sets up a situation where Thanos will inevitably fail or eventually lose the Infinity Gauntlet because he doesn't actually believe that he's worthy.
Oh.
So that's the plot twist at the end of the Infinity Gauntlet story arc. And then after that, Nebula is the one who steals the gauntlet from Thanos.
Yeah.
And she wields it very briefly, but they manage to get it back from her. Adam Warlock takes it and puts it on.
I did see where Adam Warlock actually wields the Infinity Gauntlet.
And all the power goes to his head for a second, but he calms himself down and sort of returns himself to a mental order. And then all of the other cosmic beings show up and tell him, we don't believe that any one person should possess all of the Infinity Stones, and we definitely don't believe you should, because you've been alive for such a short time, and multiple times in your short existence, you've proven that you're not a stable person. There's a whole other persona that Adam Warlock has, which is like his dark side.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we were talking about Mr. Negative earlier.
Yeah.
Adam Warlock has this dark half of his personality called the Magus.
Is it like,
Magus. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's Magus or Magus.
Is it like dissociative identity disorder?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, in the comic book world, you could call it that, basically. But essentially, Adam Warlock manages to be a good person by dividing his dark half from his light half, and the dark half takes over sometimes.
Yeah.
And directly following the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, when all the cosmic beings come tell him you shouldn't possess all of these, he says, okay. And first he's like, how dare you say this to the wielder of the gauntlet? But then he's like, okay, actually, you're probably right. So he divvies up all the Infinity Stones between all of these different people, and they become the Infinity Watch.
Right.
And he, again, is only responsible for the Soul Stone.
Wasn't Nebula one of those?
Not Nebula, no.
Yondu?
No. Drax.
Oh, Drax.
Drax wields the Power Stone, and Warlock wields the Soul Stone. Pip the Troll wields the Space Stone. Character we've never seen in the movies.
Howard the Duck wields the something.
No, then Gamora wields the Mind Stone. No, she wields the
Reality.
Time Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't give that back to Strange?
No, he never had it in the comics.
Oh.
In the comics, the Eye of Agamotto is not the Time Stone.
Oh.
It's kind of like the Cosmic Cube is not an Infinity Stone in the comics.
Oh, interesting.
So, I'm pretty sure they give Gamora the Time Stone. They give Drax's daughter, who I always struggle to remember her name. Drax's daughter is named Moondragon, and she possesses the Mind Stone. And I believe that's 5, right?
Yeah, and so the Reality Stone.
Yeah, and the Reality Stone is given to a secret person, an unrevealed person, so that no one in the Infinity Watch can either attempt to possess all of them or reveal to someone else who all of them
Yeah, I feel like the Reality Stone is potentially one of the most dangerous ones.
Yeah, and so, but during that storyline, so after Infinity Gauntlet is Infinity War.
Right.
And the Infinity Watch are the name of the group, the super group.
Right.
But Infinity War is the name of the comic book storyline. And that revolves around Adam Warlock's dark persona, the Magus, or Magus, one of the two.
Attempting to, reassemble.
Yes, exactly.
So who has the gauntlet? Adam Warlock has the gauntlet?
In the comics, the gauntlet itself isn't quite such a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple gauntlets. So
Okay.
the idea is that if you assemble all the Infinity Stones, it's kind of, that's the MacGuffin. I don't think.
If you assemble the Infinity Stones, the gauntlet just appears.
Well, no, but I mean.
What are Adam Warlock's abilities without the Soul Stone?
Well, he can live in space. He can, shoot energy beams. He can fly. He's
probably stronger than the average bear.
Yeah, stronger than the average bear. He's very smart. He's skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He's kind of one of those cosmic warriors where their abilities aren't. I mean, I'm sure that if you did research, you could find some very specific guidelines to his powers, but
Gotcha.
But essentially, yeah, he can fly around space, shoot beams, and beat people up.
Hell yeah. And then the Soul Stone just gives him insight into everybody's souls and gives him more affinity towards humanity.
Yeah, more or less. I haven't read enough comics with Adam Warlock. Most of what I read of Adam Warlock is Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, and those are both Marvel Comics events that very much focus on Adam Warlock.
Dope.
But I've never read any Adam Warlock. I've never read any comics focused on Adam Warlock that were literally called Adam Warlock #1 or.
So do you think in the Infinity, whatever the sequel to the Infinity War is, do you think we're gonna see an appearance of Adam Warlock?
I don't think so.
Do you think that was just them mentioning Adam Warlock, the Sovereign, mentioning him was just like fan service?
No, I think that they're going to deal with him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Interesting.
I think that they're going to...
Have you seen the meme it just says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and it just shows a raccoon in a field of grass? It's so sad.
I have not.
It's so sad. Oh man, poor Rocket. And also, I don't know if we mentioned it the last time, but James Gunn revealed what.
Oh man.
James Gunn revealed.
And it was harder knowing that on the rewatch.
Oh my god. James Gunn revealed what Groot's final words to Rocket were, and he just said one word, and it was "Dad." It's kind of super fucking heartbreaking. Just that Groot, like his entire time he's been with Rocket, just has always seen him as like a father figure to him.
Well, I don't know if he always has, but at least during the rebirth.
Yeah.
Because Groot and Baby Groot are different beings, at least. At least in consciousness, they have a unique consciousness. I mean, whether they're separate beings on a philosophical level, that's different. But they don't have the same memories. Baby Groot is as if he is a newborn when it comes to memory.
Yeah, so it's like he lost his short-term memory, but he does have ancient knowledge because he is an ancient being.
No, it's the opposite.
Oh.
He may have a natural ancient wisdom, but I wouldn't call it knowledge. Any knowledge he has accumulated since the rebirth.
Gotcha. That makes me even more sad.
Yeah.
Almost.
That makes it harder, doesn't it?
That was a rough one. I felt that one really hard. I felt Groot going was really difficult for me. Bucky going was really difficult for me. Doctor Strange was surprising to me, and a little difficult.
I thought for sure he was going to play a huge part in the next one.
Right.
But I guess basically what they're doing is they're giving us a swan song for the original Avengers.
Yeah.
All the original Avengers are still alive.
Yeah.
Hawkeye wasn't in this one, but he will be in the next one for sure. Whether you. Yeah. There are all these images leaked from the sets that he's definitely in it. There's no question.
I think the Russo brothers are very aware of the public and the public's perception of the heroes, and they're gauging people's reactions to things.
I'm sure they'll do reshoots based on the public reactions to this movie.
I'm sure they will.
That's one of the reasons they wanted a year between the releases, I bet.
I believe that too. I think that whatever they have in store for Hawkeye's reappearance, it's gonna be big.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be excellent.
I think he's gonna play like he's gonna make like some sort of sacrifice, or he's gonna play like a pivotal role, because it's really. I've been watching a lot of videos about the Avengers and the Guardians. I've been watching about like the overall plot line and what's happening, and people really underestimate Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye, so this might be a little bit of the fanboy, like the diehard in me talking, but I think he's a really valuable member of the team, even though he's a dude with a bow and arrow. I feel like he's they've shown in the past movies that he's more than well enough equipped to take people down. I mean, like when he's brainwashed by Loki, he
was one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. super agents.
Yes.
I mean, basically, he and Natasha Romanoff are the best that S.H.I.E.L.D. had to offer.
Exactly.
They were the top two agents.
Yeah, and it just happens that that Black Widow is around more often. But I think that Clint Barton has a lot to offer that people kind of take for granted.
Yeah. I mean, if the character of Clint Barton didn't actually wield a bow and arrow, he'd probably be in the movies more.
Yeah. And I think that his natural abilities with precision, his hand-to-hand combat prowess, his humor, his general, like, he definitely, of all of the characters, he has it together the most. He's very secure in himself. He's very secure in his abilities.
He's the only one with a family.
Yeah, he's a very he's kind of a simple dude, and that plays to his advantage. I think that, like, he's like, yeah, I know this is what I got to do, and he just has that general vibe of, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I love how he keeps people grounded. They say that, and it's always stuck with me in an age of...
Tracey at 24 is getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit. They said it, fuck you. In Age of Ultron, his wife's like, I think they need you more than ever. And I was like, yeah, because none of them have their shit together. Like, all of them are struggling in one way or another, and, like, I don't want to reduce his role as the group psychologist or anything like that, but kind of. Like, he's just...
I wouldn't call him a psychologist, but he's a grounding personality.
He's a lightning rod for their bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He keeps people, like, he keeps their... he keeps things in perspective.
Yes, and so I think that basically when that finger snap happens, he loses some or all of his family.
The same with Scott, Ant-Man.
Possibly he loses.
That would be heartbreaking if he loses his daughter,
Cassie.
I love Cassie. Oh my god, I love her. She is so cute. That scene from the original Ant-Man where she's like,
hey, guess what?
What?
I don't know. Spoiler. Potentially, they have cast an older actress to play Cassie Lang.
No.
Yeah.
But she's in the preview. She's
right.
same.
Well, I'm not sure. I think that is for Infinity War. Avengers 4.
What? Why?
Because time passes differently in the quantum realm.
Oh, fuck, dude. Don't talk to me like that. Oh, eat my chode. No.
You heard it first. Tracy's got a chode.
Tracy's got a chode. Eat it. And devour. She's just, like, cool and perfect and, like... I love when he gives her the really ugly doll, and she's like, "It's so ugly. I love it." It's so good.
She'll be a badass teenager, I guess.
I guess. All right. She's still the same character, right? Writer. What are you doing? What are you doing with your hands?
I'm a master of the mystic arts.
He's mastering the mystic arts. That's me. He's making some. He's throwing some gang signs up.
Yeah.
Once again, our address is 555 Eat Butts. It's more like a phone number, actually.
No, it's an address.
What's an address?
We live at
555 Eat Butts.
That's what is that?
We
live at
something lane in anywhere.
55,555 Eat Butts Avenue.
Eat Butts Avenue, in the middle of bumfuck New York.
Yep.
We're not in Key West, Florida. Anyway, so...
This is good stuff.
This is great stuff.
We were doing really well there for a minute. We have fallen hard.
Oh, hush. We're having a great time. I'm having fun, and that's all that matters.
It is. Because I'll hear about it later.
You will. Yeah. Anywho...
So, again, talking about a few other things, bringing it back to Adam Warlock really quickly.
Yeah.
I don't think that he's going to be in it in Infinity War 4, partly because that's what the directors have pretty much stated.
Yeah.
And partly because I think that he is, even though he plays an important role in the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War storylines, they've diverged from that already. And he is a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the new iteration, the one that includes Star-Lord and Rocket and Drax and all that. So I really think that they want to include him for the third one. And I think that they're going to be short a couple of members come Guardians 3, and so they'll be looking for new teammates. Oh. And I don't know, he might...
What do you mean?
I think he will be...
What do you... do you think people are... Who do you think's not going to make it?
Well, I kind of have a feeling like Gamora's not going to come back.
Dude, don't say that.
I kind of have a feeling like once Thanos is defeated, Drax won't come back. I kind of think that...
No!
I kind of think we might keep Rocket and Groot, and I think very strongly, personally, that Star-Lord is going to sort of phase out as the leader of the Guardians, and Adam Warlock will phase in. And I think that Guardians 3 is kind of going to be that transition movie, where Star-Lord is the leader, and Adam Warlock is the not the villain necessarily, but maybe early on he'll be perceived as the villain, and then he'll end up joining the team, and then he'll end up being the leader, because I think that Chris Pratt, he might be into making movies for a while, but he's got a lot going on, and as much as I love Star-Lord as a character, I think that he might not be super sustainable, you know?
I don't want to... I don't like this dangerous words that you're saying.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure.
I don't approve.
I'm no prophet. It's just guesswork.
I'm not a prophet. I'm a survivor.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, just watching the movie a fourth time just reestablishes the fact that I think Thanos is probably the strongest villain.
Oh, there is no question. No question.
Like, they definitely took their feedback from previous movies into account, and were like, we need to make a villain who sticks with people.
And it's so interesting how they made the ending of this movie go. You're hit with a new reality.
Yeah.
And you really feel like it's a really weird feeling that you walk away with from this film. You don't walk away thinking, this is what they're going to have to do next. This is what's going to happen next. You're kind of sitting there like...
What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, he accomplished what he wanted. All the heroes look completely defeated.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a very Empire Strikes Back.
It really was.
Sort of
really was, because, I mean, you got Tony Stark on a different planet with
Nebula, who he's never interacted with before. Because she wasn't even there with the original group. She shows up in the middle of the fucking fight.
She shows up at the very tail end.
To smash into him with one of his own ships.
The relationship that he established with this begrudging yet...
The necrocraft that she smashes into him with, they're pretty durable, though. Do you think that thing survived? Is that how they're going to get back?
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that doesn't really matter. They'll find a way.
I'm sure Tony's gonna rig something up.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll build something. But the begrudging friendship that eventually developed with Doctor Strange, gone.
Yeah.
The pseudo father-like feelings for Spider-Man, gone. So he's lost his friend. He's lost all his compatriots from Earth. He lost his new friend. He lost his son-like figure.
Yeah.
And he lost his brand new friends that are the Guardians.
He's definitely going to be super broken in this upcoming movie.
And
but for some reason, Doctor Strange saw fit to save him. So I'm really curious about how they're gonna make him about what that reason is.
Yeah, he must. I'm very curious as well. It's hard to speculate because I just don't know. But they've also got a lot of other broken characters too. I mean, everything that Steve Rogers has always embodied, which is kind of like, you keep fighting until you win. You keep fighting until you win.
Yeah.
Because you know you're right. Well, he didn't. He lost his 2 best friends. He lost a whole bunch of allies, and he let half the universe become extinct.
Yeah.
And so he's like, where does he go from here?
That's exactly what I was like. Steve Rogers is such a pure soul, and he and exactly like you keep fighting until you win, and you just see him at the end of this movie, and everybody's. I was mentioning this to you earlier. Whenever Captain America appears on screen, they're from everything that they've done since Captain America: The First Avenger. They've made you feel like when Cap is on screen,
everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Even in this movie, when you see him, he catches the spear, he saves Vision, he saves Wanda, and he shows up, and he catches that spear, and you're like, oh man, this is fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And then you see him at the end of the movie, and he is broken. He's sitting in his best friend's ashes. And he's like, people are like, what's happening? What is this? And he says, oh God.
Yeah, that's the last thing that anyone Avenger says.
Anyone says.
Actually, it's the last thing anyone says. Yeah.
Yeah, because and then Thanos has that scene where he says that it's like, what are you gonna do if you accomplish this? He's like, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy and watch the sunrise on a grateful universe. And that's exactly what he does. Let's talk about that for a hot second, because he snaps his fingers. He travels into the Soul Stone, I guess, for like a hot second, and he talks to Gamora, baby Gamora, which I guess that's they made her young because I think that's his idealized version of her is still like young, still malleable, still like maybe able to be swayed by his way of thinking, and I think that's why they do that intentionally. And then he comes back to reality, and the Infinity Gauntlet is in tatters. But
all the Infinity Stones are still in it, and he's still wearing it.
Still intact. But that's something that's like they did that for a reason. So I'm wondering if the Infinity Gauntlet is ruined, is like his ability to use all 6 in unison in such a way is not as feasible anymore. And then when you see him, he's not on Titan, is he? When he's at
No, he's not. I believe that he's actually on Gamora's homeworld.
Oh, interesting. He's sitting
but
in his...
that's just that's speculation.
Yeah,
it's not.
And the movie ends with him in his makeshift hut, sitting on this foreign planet, watching the sunrise on a quote unquote grateful universe. And if you true believers paid close attention, there are his left arm, the arm that wielded the Infinity Gauntlet, is really messed up.
Yeah, it's shredded. It's full of cracks and burns.
And that travel all the way up to his neck, and so it definitely took a physical toll on him, and I'm wondering if that he's slowly dying.
Nothing
from that.
they've done in this film is on accident. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, that's if the Russo brothers and if there's anything we know about the Russo brothers and Disney, it's that they know polish, they know quality. None of this was on accident. So any detail, any speculation probably is up for debate, and let the theories flow.
This is probably the one movie in all of history that is literally impossible to overanalyze.
Yeah.
You can never say, well, what about this little part right here? Well, you might not be guessing at the true meaning, but you can pretty much bet that it does mean something.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. And so also, both in Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, Thanos actually plays the role of a good guy.
Yeah.
So in Infinity Gauntlet, when Nebula manages to slip the gauntlet off of his hand and take it, they enlist Thanos to help get it back from her. when she drops it somehow, I forget the...
Wait, does Nebula use it for nefarious purposes?
Well,
Is it
kind of, yes.
And
She's the one who restores the universe to the way that it was.
Oh.
But then she's kind of mad with power and revenge.
That's probably true of any way that wields the gauntlet.
Kind of. Adam Warlock never uses it for nefarious purposes. He kind of does some monologuing, but that's about the end of it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't use it for nefarious purposes, but again, it's just one of those things that nobody should possess the power to, especially someone with a broken psyche.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point that I was making is just that Thanos aids them in helping get the Infinity Gauntlet off of Nebula, and he tries to get it, but Adam Warlock gets it first. But then during Infinity War, which comes after, he actually leaves. Okay, so let me backtrack just a little bit. So after Adam Warlock gets the Infinity Gauntlet, he goes. Everyone thinks Thanos is dead, but he's actually not. He is on a planet which looks just like it did in this movie, and he's living in a little hut. His golden armor is on a scarecrow, and he's farming. And Adam Warlock goes there basically because he's the only other person he can talk to who has ever known what omnipotence feels like.
Yeah.
Because in the comics, the Infinity Gauntlet with all the Infinity Stones grants omnipotence. Not just the power that we saw in the movie, but it actually grants all-knowing.
You're straight up God.
You are God. And Adam Warlock goes there to kind of chat with him about what it's like to be God. And he's like, he knows everything that has ever happened and ever will happen. And so the conversation, he's just like, why do you say that every time? Because it's like, if you know everything, you kind of experience it like a time loop. You experience every single thing all the time.
Yeah.
And that weight, that mental complexity is pretty much too much for a mortal. And so he goes there and they talk a little bit and he's like, why do you say that every time? I hate it. Or something like that. Anyway, shortly thereafter is when the cosmic beings say, hey, shouldn't have all these. And Adam Warlock's like, okay. and but then Thanos the little chat with Thanos between the two of them happens in like the closing of Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an epilogue. But then after in Infinity War, when the cosmic entities talk to Adam Warlock and he splits up the stones, Thanos is reintroduced and he's actually like working on his computer on this planet, and he gets some readings about something, and he's like, this is bad, but I don't know what it is, but I need to go figure it out. And he actually approaches the Infinity Watch and says, hey, something's going on, something bad. And they're like, oh, we don't trust you. But then Adam Warlock is like, no, I believe that he's here to, be helpful. So in various iterations of the comics, Thanos has been both a recurring, really bad villain, but also kind of a recurring helpful character. So I have this feeling like they will swing Thanos' character arc into a really cool, interesting, not hero for sure, but I think he'll end up making kind of like an ultimate sacrifice for the good of the universe. Because in this movie, everything he does, he believes is for the good of the universe.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing it out of malice. He believes that what he's doing is helpful.
He is, but at the same time...
And he also believes that he's sacrificing himself and his loves and...
His love and his like, whatever goodness is in him, or whatever. Yes, but also he's a bit of a sadist.
Yes, he is. He is a little bit power hungry, but he's like that in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. He is like that, but his character arc still does the swing. So I can really see that happening. I can see him being the character who thinks he's doing well and has enough of an ego to think that he's the one who's supposed to save everybody.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the point where he believes that he gets to some kind of point, and I'm sure they'll make it happen really interestingly in a very cool way, that he finally realizes that the actual sacrifice, like what he actually has to do to save the universe, is sacrifice himself, not other people.
Right.
So I think that will be really, really cool. Josh Brolin has played a really, again, it sucks you in, like we've talked about before.
He's a fantastic Thanos.
Yeah, you can't just have a mustache twirling villain who's bad to be bad. You can have a character who's evil or who's the
epitome of like...
Yeah, you can have a character who's dark, you can have a character who's bad, but if you are sucked in, if you want to watch that character do bad things just because it's so interesting, that's
a good villain.
Yeah, that's what makes a good character. And characters need to be good, whether they're the heroic or the villain or the comedic relief or the side character or even just exposition.
Yeah.
No matter who they are, they need to be interesting to watch or interesting to read. And that's why characters who exist just to do something are often sort of panned.
Yeah.
And characters who feel like they exist are praised because they're the ones who suck you in. Even if what their role is in a story might not be the main hero or the main character or the lead, whatever it might be.
Yeah. So moral of the story is, no matter who you are, no matter what you like, suck people in. Just keep sucking.
Just keep sucking people.
I feel like we've covered a lot of things. This was a thoughtful analysis with not too much rabbit holing.
Not too much rabbit holing, but a lot of nonsense.
A lot of nonsense. I got to play my guitar, which was fun. I got to talk about gay sex, which I do every episode, so that's fun. Infinity War is just a really complex and interesting movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I hope you have seen it if you're listening to this episode, and if you've delved this far into the internet to find maxteen.org.
If you've seen it, go see it again.
Yeah, for sure. Give them more money so they keep producing more sterling content.
Yeah. The day they make bad movies, we won't pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
But if they keep putting this stuff out,
For Rizzle.
all day, every day.
Hell yeah. So once again, listen to our podcast at maxteen.org and iTunes. If you're interested, and your website is?
Maxteen.org. I hate you.
Go to maxteen.org for more updates about what we're up to and our creative endeavors. Speaking of creative endeavors, my Instagram is Viva La Frank. It's Viva La France, except the E is a 3. It's Viva La and then LA and then the country. Except the E's a 3. And I will be posting all and any artwork that I do. Posted some drawings of Deadpool because we're getting excited for the release of Deadpool 2. And I will also be posting some stuff that we were working on for the comic. Love all of you. Hug your neighbor.
Really, again? Let me throw out there, please, again, do email us.
Yeah.
Even though it's my name, it gets to both of us.
Please, yeah, we want that sweet interaction with you guys. We want to know what you want. We want to know what your guys' life's like. Give us your best recipes for apple crisp, because I'm working on that right now.
Email us pictures of your cats.
Pictures of your cats, mostly that. Song lyrics. Send me a list. I want your top 5 favorite songs and the platforms to listen to them on. Spotify.
All right. That's going to be Maxwell Dean at maxdean.org. And good night.